What's happening, everyone? It's G-Ball, and today we're taking a first look at a group of fixed blades coming in from a wide range of different companies. There's different styles and price points. Hopefully a little something for everyone. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your EDC is looking like today. The first knife we're going to be checking out is coming in from Kizer. It is called the Billy Bones. It's a newer release for them, and at the time you are seeing this video, all these fixed blades should be available, and I'll have links over to them down in the description. This knife is going to come in just under $60. We're looking at 3.54 inches of AEBL steel. This one has a nice dark stonewash finish. They have a black PVD variant as well. Pretty thick spine all the way out to that tip. You can tell this is more of a tactical hard use fixed blade. One thing I really like about this particular one, I'm not a huge fan of ringed fixed blades like this, but they give you plenty of room to get a good grip on this. If you have some standard work to do with it, you can accomplish it depending on your hand size, of course. But if you're an XL glove and smaller, you'll be just fine. If you got gorilla hands, you might start to work up on that ring a little bit. So you can take care of normal stuff, but if you need to switch into ninja mode, you can certainly do that. And then you have this kind of pummel striking implement on the butt end of the knife, and you have some jimping there to let them know your knife is jimped. As far as the sheath goes, standard pancake Kydex sheath. You have a ton of different lashing points here, a tensioning screw there for the sheath, and it comes with a small tech lock, which I would definitely change out unless you're planning on carrying this on a belt or attaching it to a pack. Then in that case, it is good to go. You do have a drainage hole there on the bottom, and the fit in and out is very good. You have a nice pop and click, which is exactly what you want. Good undercut here, so you can get a nice grip on it before you even pull it out of the sheath. Thumb ramp is just fine, and you can always get that reverse grip on this by indexing the fixed blade, pulling it out, and getting to work. Really cool layout and setup here on the Billy Bones. Last thing we're going to do is see how the edge is out of the box with our catalog paper here. And we're not going to do too many because we got several to test, but just to get an idea, and I think we're going to be just fine with a Kizer fixed blade. Seems to be good. Not the best test for a fixed blade, any fixed blade for that matter, but at least it'll give us an idea. Seems pretty good. Could be better, but it's not too shabby. I think a lot of you are really going to like this one here. This is a newer one coming in from Kansept. It's called the Sciu, and these are going to be between $50 and $60. It just depends on the version that you're looking at. They have a couple with micarta, and then they have some with like a Damascus print. This one I think looks really cool. This one is on the higher side at the 62 price. 2.4 inches of D2 steel here. This one has a nice stonewash finish. 5 3/4 inches overall. And then we have that textured G10 with a little wave pattern. You have a lanyard hole on the butt end. This is more of a 3-finger knife, 3.5-finger knife, so a lanyard would come in handy there. And then we have a taco Kydex sheath, couple different lashing holes, and then it comes with an adjustable belt attachment, which I would here again definitely take off unless you plan on using this knife on the belt. I don't care for this clip here whatsoever. I wish they would just do a standard deep carry clip. Those are a couple dollars at the most, probably just as much as something like this. As far as the thumb ramp and the undercut is actually pretty good. You can get a pretty good grip on this fella before you pull it out of the sheath. The thumb ramp is there, and I think it could be better, but still not too shabby, I would say. They're trying to keep it low profile, but it's going to work just fine. You have a good pop on the way out and a good click on the way in, exactly what we are looking for. Sharpening choil is okay on this one. Probably could be a little better, but I'm not a sharpening wizard like some of you out there. And then the jimping on the spine is a nice touch. That is pretty sharp jimping, exactly what you want when you have a jimp spine. You want it to have some grip to it, otherwise it's pretty useless. So that is some nice jimping there on the spine. Well done from Kansept, which they've been doing a phenomenal job all year. Let's see how they did on this edge out of the box. We'll use our standard catalog paper here again. And this is going to be pinpoint precision for a utility fixed blade. Kind of reminds me of the Main Street blade, doesn't it? Anybody else getting that from this guy here? Not too bad. Almost very similar to the Billy Bones. A little draggy, a little draggy. Like it's got an edge, but it's a little draggy here again. D2 and AEBL going to be very easy to get an edge back on them. That's the nice thing about them. They are affordable budget steels, but they are very nice for the end user to maintain. Here we have one coming in from Sativian, and I'm pretty excited about this one. It's called the ST24. That's how they label all their fixed blades, is with a number. And this one here is going to come in under 30 bucks. Actually, at the time of recording this, and I'm sure fairly often, there's a 10% discount code on it. So it's going to be closer to $25. And that's a pretty solid price for this fixed blade here. We'll start off with the blade. This has a black washed PVD coating, and it's going to be coming in AUS 8, and it's going to be 9¼ inches overall. You have 4.6 inches of that AUS 8. Nice large finger choil there, and then a G-Mascus handle, and they have some other ones that are very bright and outstanding, and this one's a little bit more subtle. I think it looks really good with the red G10 liners. 2 large Torx holding each side on, and then you do have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. This is going to be a nice setup for a kind of do-it-all fixed blade. You could certainly EDC this. I think it steps over, though, since it's over 9 inches. I think it's a little big for an EDC, but there's lots of people out there who would definitely consider this to be an EDC. I consider this a crossover, though. Could be used for EDC, but it could be used for a lot of outdoor tasks as well. And you could do a little bit of bushcrafting with this fella as well. Maybe not a ton of chopping, but this could do some light batoning and some light chopping for sure. It's got some heft to it, and it comes with a nice Taco Kydex sheath, a large textile lock, and then a drainage hole, a couple different places for lashing this or attachments, and the thumb ramp is executed well and it's comfortable. Undercut is exactly where you want it to be. I would say Sativian is a true hidden gem when it comes to fixed blades. Not necessarily talking about their folders. I don't have a ton of experience with them. I've only ever checked out a few, but I've checked out a ton of their fixed blades in all kinds of different steels, at least a half dozen or more steels from Sativian, and tested them out in the field. And for the money, I think they're almost impossible to beat. Really, they're really hard to beat. Even some of their large choppers that are in like 154 cm, 14C, they do AUS 10, they do N690, they do all kinds of stuff. As a matter of fact, they got Sleipner over there. So if you want a unique fixed blade and a different steel than what's normally out there, highly recommend going and checking out Sativian. I will have links to this knife down in the description along with the rest of them, but I'll have a couple of additional Sativians down there along with the 24 that I've checked out and highly recommend. So let's put some money on the table here. What do you say? I bet this one, being a bigger fixed blade, a thicker fixed blade, a more robust fixed blade, I bet this one has a better edge than the previous two. What do you say? Let me know down in the comments. Here we go. Catalog paper. I'll come up into that nice full choil. No, I'm going to stay back here. Started off kind of shaky, but I think I'm going to win that bet, and whoever agreed with me is also going to win. Yeah, this has a beautiful edge on it. For a robust fixed blade like this, that is really nice. And if you're someone who's been around for a long time, this isn't the first time you're seeing a massive Sativian fixed blade cut up some catalog paper or some phone book paper. They do a great job, like I said, ladies and gentlemen. Nice sharp jimping up here on the spine again. That's actually even sharper than the previous knife. This is locked in very, very good. Now, Os 8, it's not a super steel. It's not anything out of this world. But for a $25 fixed blade, that's pretty hard to beat. It's a pretty good budget-ended steel. I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at. And they're hitting it 59 to 61, which is prime time for it. So kind of hard to, you know, put your nose up at this one. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and gear, you're in the right place. Double check and make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. I have one coming in from Offgrid Knives, one of my favorite companies when it comes to the knife world. They do a fantastic job on their folding knives as well as their fixed blades. This is going to be out of their X series line. It is the new Tracker X3. This bad boy is going to come in just under $100. We are looking at 13 ounces, 5.5 inches of Cryo D2. This is a Taiwanese OEM, so we know we're going to be getting superb fit and finish, great materials, and the best out of those materials. HRC on the Cryo D2 is at 62 HRC, which is perfection. This is going to be some of the best, if not the best D2 you will get your hands on. I have tested many Offgrid knives with their Cryo D2, and it is superb stuff. Ultra tough, corrosion resistant, and edge retention is good to go. For a fixed blade, we have this honeycomb textured G10 handle that matches our black wash finish. We do have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans, and this thing is going to be nice and robust. If you have a little bit larger hand, this is going to fill it out very nicely. And then it comes with one of the best sheaths in the game. It is a Kydex sheath. It is a taco sheath. It has a beautiful undercut, and the greatest example of a thumb ramp that you can get. Very comfortable, very easy to push this off, and that undercut is exquisite, so you can get a really good grip on it before it comes out of the sheath. Couple different lashing points here, and then it comes with a belt loop attachment here, but you could change that out for pretty much whatever you want with this whole layout here. You could put an Alti clip, a tech lock, hell, you could probably put a deep carry clip on this thing if you wanted to. Good fit, in and out, a nice pop, and a nice click. No movement, no noise. This is really, really good stuff. If you're looking for a semi-premium, we'll say, a semi-premium kind of do-it-all fixed blade, the Tracker X3 is going to be hard to beat. And they're also going to have a couple of different versions. You can get Coyote and like a gray wash. They have a stone wash and black G10. They have the all murdered out one. We're going to see how this edge is out of the box. I expect it to be superb. Let's see what we are looking at here. Let me put a little English on it. A little English. Sometimes I come at it too straight, and it's, you know, this paper would rather rip than get cut. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah. Come on. I hate this paper. There we go. Yeah, this one is good. Beautiful edge. Especially when, and here again, this is the same idea. Yeah, this is beautiful. There we go. Now I found my rhythm. This has a beautiful edge on it. And as I said with past fixed blades, it's not a great test for these fixed blades, but it does give us a little something. And if it can cut that type of catalog paper that is utter trash, if it can cut phone book paper, you know, that type of thing, it's got a pretty damn good edge out of the box. Is it the best edge? Is it a hand finished edge? No, it's not. But it's going to be a pretty good edge out of the box. And here again with the Cryo D2, it's going to be ultra well-rounded in my opinion, and it's going to be very user-friendly. Here we have a brand spanking new one coming in from QSP. This is going to be called the T-Cook, and this is a Torbay design. These are going to come in about 86 bucks. And when we're talking about crossover fixed blades, that is what this one is intended for. Taco Kydex sheath, couple different lashing points. It does have an adjustable belt attachment here that will circle all the way around, so you can carry this canted, horizontal, vertical, whatever your little heart desires. Undercut is going to be nice. There's not going to be any retention on this particular sheath because we do have the button clasp here. So this is going to be an easy draw fixed blade right out of the sheath. And this is intended for around the camp, but something that you could still use in the outdoors on certain tasks. It's going to be coming in Nitro V steel, 9.5 inches long, 5.3 inches of total blade there. And this one has a nice sheep's foot blade shape to it, and it's very well rounded, so that way you can get those rocking cuts really nicely out in the field. This is a pretty cool idea from QSP and Torbay. There's a bunch of different versions. They have ones that have a black coated blade with the JG10 that look really sweet. They have all murdered out versions. This one here should be a great slicer out of the box, even on our catalog paper. And magically, we have some more catalog paper here. Let's see how this one does out of the box. Oh yeah, this thing is buttery. Buttery sharp. Oh yeah. Yep. That is really nice. From tip to back, that bad boy is beautifully sharp. That is a cool fixed blade. A really cool idea. Torbay has this pitted as an outdoor fixed blade that you can use around the camp for, you know, food prep and food tasks. But he's also saying that, and we'll have to see about that, maybe we'll make this our primary test knife here moving forward. But he says, you know, light bushcrafting work, wide variety of other tasks. So I'm pretty interested in this guy right here. Light batoning, stuff like that. We'll have to see how this one fares. Let me know what you think of this guy down in the comments. So this one right here is going to be very high on my favorites list for this particular video. This is the new Drop Bear Fix 3, or the newer Drop Bear Fix 3. You can pick these up for right around $70, and it's going to be a kick-ass little package. You have a pancake Kydex sheath here, tensioning screw, bunch of different lashing points, and then it comes with a small tech lock, which I have bought a bunch of aftermarket budget deep carry clips off Amazon. I'll have some of those linked down below in the description as well. A lot of people ask about those and different attachment accessories you can get for your fixed blades, and I'll have a couple different options down there in the comments. But these days I've been just going with the budget deep carry steel clips. You can get a couple of them in a pack for a couple of dollars, and I think they're some of the best options unless you're looking for a tactical way of carrying the fixed blade. This is going to have excellent retention in and out of that sheath. Nice thumb ramp, good undercut. You're going to be able to get on that handle very easily. Good pop and click. Exactly what we want. And then we're looking at a beautiful spear point blade with a stonewash finish. and that's going to be coming in 14C28N, ladies and gentlemen, about 3.8 inches of 14C, and this is going to be 8.1 inches overall, so it's a beautiful size for a crossover fixed blade, something most people could EDC very easily, but a fixed blade that you could take into the outdoors and do a lot of various tasks with it. Beautiful contoured micarta handles here, and then we have two huge torque screws holding each side on. I think it looks awesome. The drop bear doesn't need any introduction. There's a bunch of folders in this line and a bunch of different fixed blades in all kinds of different sizes. If you like this but you want it to be a little smaller, they have versions like it, and they have versions that are even bigger. So no matter what you want in the drop bear line, they're going to have it. But if you wanted something right in the middle, I think this bad boy right here is a perfect example of a crossover fixed blade. And at 70 bucks, that is a solid price point. 4.3 ounces on this guy. Let's see how this 14C28N is out of the box. It's got a pretty good edge on it. Could be a little better, though. Here again, could be a little better. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Could be a little better. I mean, it's okay. But either I'm really off my game tonight, or we have a string of fixed blades that just didn't come with the best of edges, which is pretty uncommon, actually. I test 3 or 4 knives a day, and we never have 2 in a row that having a pretty fairly bad edge. And I would say several of these fixed blades had what I would consider subpar edges out of the box. And with 14C, I mean, with any of these, it feels okay. It's all right, but that certainly could be better, in my opinion. The great thing is, though, for me personally, is it's 14C28N, and Kizer does a great job with their 14C. Should be nice and easy to hone back up. I think the main, where this is going to lose points with some people is that sharpening choil area. It's more of a finger groove, and then there isn't much of a sharpening choil there. So I think people are certainly going to complain about that. Not sure why they didn't notch in something there for a sharpening choil, but I think out of everything, that is going to be, my gripe with this fixed blade. I'm just now realizing it, but I don't know if this was on purpose or on accident, but Sativian actually sent 2 of the ST24s. I misread this for an ST34 initially, so I thought we'd be doing 2 different Sativians, but we're actually going to be checking out 2 ST24s. It's going to have the same exact setup as the last one, the Taco Kydex sheath, but here we get a sample size of 2, and we get to see actually how the fit and finish rolls out through each of the models. You have that same large textile lock, couple different lashing points, nice drainage hole, a good undercut. Thumb ramp is excellent. I would say for budget fixed blades, Sativian is one of the best in the business. If you're looking for a hard use fixed blade, going to be very hard to beat, the ST24 is going to be coming in that AUS 8. You are looking at 4.6 inches of total blade, and it's going to be 9.3 inches overall. And here is that exotic G Mascus I was talking about. It's got orange G10 liners, a couple of large torques holding each scale on, and then we do have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans, but you certainly won't need it with this fixed blade. And you have a nice large choil there, so you can choke up behind the edge. That jimping is nice and sharp, just like on the previous one. Let's get our last piece of catalog paper out here and see how this edge is. And I think this might be this one. This edge may take the cake. Oh, baby. And that's like, what, 180 thousandths on that blade stock there? That is a thick boy. And this has a beautiful, beautiful edge out of the box. And I know some of you out there, hopefully you're watching, have at least one Sativian fixed blade and can attest to how good they actually are. And that may strike a ferro rod as well. That's got a nice 90-degree spine there. This is a nice setup for an outdoor fixed blade, a companion fixed blade. It's not too small, it's not too big. This would be a perfect companion type fixed blade, especially at $25, $30. You'll have to let me know down in the comments what was your favorite fixed blade from today's video. I'll have links to all these knives down in the description. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on at least one of these fixed blades. Do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button. It helps push the video out there to more people. And if you want to make sure you see more daily knife and EDC content just like this, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.